See, and this is places where I get my stuff. People just drop things off. Somebody met over at the local Ace Hardware, and look at inside. I mean, there's things loaded. It's like with the 53 horse feed bags I got that I have on YouTube already, just in my yard. This is the what I call dirty bags. Okay, they have to be washed, but isn't that going to look cool on the front of a purse? So I'm getting ready to make a whole bunch of purses. I'm at different craft fairs in Southern Maryland. Okay, so now I'm going to actually go through and show you how to make the purse. This measures 16 inches across. Actually, I think it's more like 15 inches after the hems are put back. This is cut to 14 and a half up, so the hem's cut back 13 and a half inches. This is typically 5 inches after the hems are done. Okay, I sewed that into place because this is the first one I did, so it hides the rooster there, and it hides kind of the head, top of the head right there. So this is the first one I did. Really cool what's inside of these things. Now this is a 50-inch strap that I made, and these are the clamps I used. Now you could put these directly onto this if you want. I like the versatility of changing these out if you want to a shorter strap. So this is a different one now. This is smooth. This texture is the webbed. It's very tough. This is the smooth stuff, not as tough as that, but still very durable. And there's the dog. Okay, and then up on the top, see, this is the dog right there. In the back, it's just instructions. In the back of this one, it's just that. Okay, so, and this has a shorter strap, more like a 48 inches or so. And then inside, let's go over the sun so you can really see the inside of this thing. This is really cool. Inside, I got the strap of the camera. I'm sorry about that. Inside is a total of 6 storage spaces. 3 Ziploc, okay, in there. All right. And then in back of the Ziploc, there's storage too. So inside is, you see the green. Okay, so that's a different kind of package. All right, that's what I call my inner lining. And down on the back is what I call beveled. It opens up, so you can fit a lot of stuff in there. I sell these $5 a piece at my craft fairs. So, I'm going to show you how to actually put these together and what you're going to need to do as time goes on. Okay, what you need to do is get yourself some Miracle-Gro bags, any kind of not so tough bags for the inner linings. You need to scrub them, clean them. I mean, take them outside, scrub, spray off the bulk of the dirt, and then when you cut them out, then you take them to the sink and actually use a brush with soap and get them really clean. Get an animal feed bag. I like the type that has the web. That's kind of sewn with plastic together. They're a lot tougher. Okay, I use 2 clamps. I get my clamps like that off of eBay, like a pack of 50 sets for maybe $8. Okay, Velcro, 3 boxes for about $13. All right, that's 5-pound test, and there's one roll of 15 feet in there. So you're going to need about 2 to 3 inches of the Velcro for this. All right, maybe a little bit more. And then 3 Ziploc bags. I throw a variety in here. I really don't like to use the Fisher Trail Mix because it has nuts in it, and you know about allergies with nuts. This is too big. I think that something like this I like the Cooper size, and the M&Ms. Some of the M&Ms is really good too. So be kind of choosy if you're making it for somebody, and like a customer or something. And if they have peanut allergies, even though you wash it, you have to really be careful. All right, but this is very fun, easy to do. So let's get going. All right, so after cutting off the excess, which you have to be careful of because you don't want to cut through pictures and stuff. All right, so cut out, and that's going to be part of my hem. All right, on both sides. So this is 16 by 14 and a half going up. All right, which is going to come down to a size of 15 inches and 13 and a half as a final thing. So over here I have a finished one hemmed. It's hemmed all the way around, and there you are, hemmed all the way around. And I did the same to the Miracle-Gro. All right, but now on the Miracle-Gro, what you need to make sure of when this is over, that's your inner lining, okay? So you need to make sure that it actually hides behind this one. and you may have to tweak it a little bit, bring it in a little bit, but I have a set for the back and the front. And now that's a different label, because what happened is this is so far down from the top that I couldn't get another one out, and because this has a picture on it, I couldn't procure it, get my measurement going across on the back. So this can actually be part of my belt. Okay, cutting those off to be a belt. So this is going to be my, one of these is, let's see, this is going to be my top that folds over. This is going to be my little bevel underneath on the bottom. All right, so this measures 5 inches and then 6 inches here because of the hems. Got to make sure everything is hemmed. Okay, I have about everything here laid out, about how it has to be cut. The only thing I did the cross stitch on was the flap that goes over and the very top. Hey, if you miss a stitch, don't worry about it, because you're going to be putting multiple stitches on there. Everything else has a single stitch, and don't worry about doing a zigzag at this point, because you're going to be putting it all together, and all the way around is going to be a zigzag. Now, over here, this is my beveled bottom. That'll be underneath between this one and that one. All right, this is the bag placement. I'm using the big Sour Patch on that one, a Mexican 4 cheese, and a Cooper. All right, what's really nice is it has this clear spot on the sides that you can actually stitch. This has a little area also, and it has a little area underneath that could be stitched. I like doing that first. Over here it's opened up at the ends, so you can stitch right across and then go up on both sides. You want to be far enough off the top to do your stitching. This is the front panel, because right here and right here, when this is on the back of that, is when I have my straps. You don't want to have 2 in the front like I did on one of mine, and luckily I didn't hit the sack, and the straps are, the strap is mounted right there. So go ahead and do your sewing. All right, I use a industrial sewing machine. It's a Nachi or Nichi or whatever how you pronounce it. And thing is, I've got 4 sewing machines, and this is the only one that doesn't jam when I'm doing like 7 layers of something. And this is unique material. Don't worry about, how poor the stitches are, because every bit of this is different. Those bags are different than this bag. That bag's different than that bag. I mean, it's like all different materials. Just have a good time doing it. Oh, there they are. Not perfectly straight, not perfectly level. All right, definitely not centered, but it'll still work. Okay, so now I did do the cross stitch all the way around and underneath. It went all the way through. This one didn't go all the way through because it doesn't open up at the ends. So it's got little openings there, but it still serves the purpose. All right, on the back, you can see just how I overlapped, reinforced on the ends. Okay, I did go back and forth on all the ends. All right, I'm not all the way to the end on that, and this is good here too. All reinforced. There is that little guy right there. What you could do with this is put a piece of, not duct tape, but packaging tape, clear packaging tape on that to reinforce that. I don't think it's going to puncture. You're definitely not going to see it, but I like having a good product. I don't want something to really go bad, but you could patch that up. But there's a little smiley guy. Smiley eyes. These are ready now to be put on the back of those. And now when you stitch them on, they're going to be a single stitch. All right, straight line stitch, because we're not ready to put them both together yet, which will be the only cross stitch. Okay, now they're all fastened up except for the very bottom, because this is going to be sewn when this guy gets put on both sides. Now what I did on the back is I put the cover on, the flap that goes over. You got to make sure this is not the same direction as that, because when this comes up in the front, it's going to be over like this with the horse being straight. Okay, so now what I had to do is I had to tack this guy on both sides to keep it in place, so when I go across, I would hit it. I actually let the zigzag stay on going down that side by accident, but oh well. I'm not really worried about that. I hate wasting thread, and that's why I like going on a straight when I need to go straight, zigzag when I have to go zigzag. So no big deal. It just looked like a lot of zigzag on this side in the back. Doubled up like that is right there. But see, I do the zigzag on the very final so. That's why that's all zigzag there. All right, and it's straight over here because it's not, but it is. It should be. Actually, this is going to all be sewn together like this eventually with a zigzag through it. So that'll be it's my little accordion bottom. All right, so that's going to go on. It should be the same length. If not, then I'm going to have to trim it. I'm trying to show you this because I'm not going to have it on the sewing machine when I'm be videoing it, but you're going to put it behind, okay, about a ½ inch up, and you're going to sew across. And this is going to be zigzag now because it's the final stitch. Okay, so going across all the way, and then the other side will be on the inside of that one. Well, that's just what it looks like, or with the thing underneath, the accordion thing. It's sewn right across inside. I did lose my bobbin, so I had to redo my stitch there and reinforce. So it's on the bottom. I don't think it's going to be very well seen or noticed unless I really point it out. At least it's not a dress, right? Where it makes it look really bad. Now, something before you attach the bottom of this to this, so it'll be a smaller thing to work with, you need to put your two straps on. Okay, now if you're going to do your strap without the brackets I showed you, that's fine. The only problem with that is you don't have the option to change out the strap as needed. So I like that's why I like those. Now, when making your strap, the thing that goes around the shoulders, okay, what I do is this is my clasp. Now, if you're using a clasp, this is very important, okay? You want your strap to be able to go through that, all right? So and without squeezing it too much. So this is a 3/4 inch access in here. So what I do is I go to 2 inches. So right on the other side of this line, in between those two, that's going to be my reference when I'm cutting all the way up. No need to draw. Now this is I don't call it fabric. It's a package. Okay, about 31 inches or so, 32 inches. I don't want that weight in there. All right, so 31 inches. I'm going to need probably 2 of these together and then trim as needed. All right, so that's going to be my 50 inches is what I want. Now this is what I'm doing is I'm folding one down and folding one over. My stitch will be right above my thumb, running all the way down this thing that holds it all together. Now this is the part that I'm kind of picky about, okay? I go over the 2 bars. Okay, there's an opening right there. I go over it, and you can see it inside there. All right, so I go from the top down. The seam to this is underneath. Okay, so you can see the seam right there. All right, so that's where the white's going to be hidden. All right, so now the clip, the part that's the insert, is the one that I'm not going to right now. All right, so this is what's going to be on the purse on top. This is going to be on this guy when I'm done. So I'm going to clip this off. It's about 3 fingers length to where I'm going to cut. So basically on that little line right there is where I'm going to cut. And I'm going to sew this onto the back of the purse. I'll do the same with the other side. So there you go. One is off of this side, and then I took the other one off of this side so they match. All right, so now the next thing to do is put them on this. I'm not going to cut it any shorter. I'm going to keep this at the length, be one of the longer ones, because I want to make different sizes belts. So I have them ready. I have a very high demand for these things. So people are going to want different sizes belts. I may even put some really short ones to where it's more like a handbag if they want an extra strap. Okay, so notice that on this is kind of over it, but I left it far enough away from here for my shoe when I'm sewing, when I'm putting the 2 halves together, that I can go up and reinforce up here. I had a hard time doing that on my first one, even on my second one, so it took a little, learn as you go on. Oh, this might be a little helpful for you. This is the side that I just put the clips on. I'm getting ready to put the beveled part on the bottom. What I did is I tacked them on both sides. It just makes it a lot easier because it's a lot of stuff you're doing. You have to sew this whole thing on with the zigzag and catching that sleeve on the inside too. All right, so you got to make sure all that gets intact, gets put together with one stitch. Here's an idea for you. If you have to roll up something, hey, put some clamps on the end. Okay, I have clamps on both ends of this to keep this rolled up. Otherwise, it'd be a headache trying to manage it while you're sewing. So I'm getting ready to sew alongside this. I got to make sure everything's going there. Why mess with this while I'm doing that? Well, as you see, I missed part of it in here. So if somebody actually dropped something down and it went up inside, then they would have a hard time getting out there. So I felt obligated to actually close it up. And what it does is, at least it's in the back, and it has 2 stitches going across the bottom. That's something I didn't want, but hey, it's there, and at least it's in the back and not in. All right, so now this is coming up to the closure, okay? So after that's in, you're going to push everything up to where these meet. It's going to look like this on the outside on both sides. So this is all the way inside where you're not sewing the bottom. The bottom is not going to be sewn. You're sewing all along here, double stitch, reinforced at the end. Do not come in, okay? Reinforced at the end and go all the way to the top, reinforce up there. Do the same thing on the other side and you're done. And the absolute final step is putting the Velcro on. So this is a sticky Velcro, about 3 fingers, 3 of my fingers, maybe a little bit longer. Okay, and what I do is I put, this is the hook side down here, and this is the cushion side up there. So, whoops, just get it back up there. I don't have any hangers or anything for these, so it's on the door. All right, so the thing is, you got this is a sticky stuff, great for this kind of material. You don't have to stitch. Okay, so let it sit for about 15 minutes, and it'll cure, and you're all set, and it'll never come off unless you force it to come off, like peel it off really vigorously. So the reason why I do this is so if this really gets full, because it's beveled on the bottom, okay, so it can actually come out, and this will go up and down as needed. So that's one of my little ideas. So there it is. It's a done deal. All right, and I hope you like it. And hey, bird bags, bird feed bags, I mean the cardinals and stuff, all sorts of stuff you could do that. So I have this one, I have the dog, and let's see if I can get it out. And I have the rooster with the head kind of hiding there. So $5 each is what I sell them locally for. Going via mail, probably a little bit more. Bye now. Subscribe and see more. Bye.